Welcome to the Curlcast, a podcast dedicated to detangling the pros and woes of curly hair. We're your hosts, Mira
and Angel,
and today we are discussing about our experiences with dating and relationships and etc. and all that, and how it relates to our curl journey, and if so, how.
Yeah.
And I
how
know
it relates to our curl journey, and if so, how.
And if so,
basically every essay question ever.
Yeah, just how and why
and why.
Yeah, sorry, but yeah.
Yeah, so you might be wondering why this is relevant to curls. And it's funny because you'd think that, it's just wearing your hair curly. This is the curly podcast. Why are you talking about dating? It's completely not in the same realm, but as you will find out,
It is.
So just brace yourselves, bear with us.
Yeah, please bear with us. But we'll get to a point. There is a point that we're going to make. Mm-hmm. So I think Angel should start us off, and I think you should just go through what's your current relationship status, and did it affect your curl journey, and if so, how?
Righto. So I am currently in a long-term relationship with my boyfriend / partner / dad, if you're listening, friend, Michael, and we've been dating for just over 4.5 years now. So it's been quite a while. Things have been really good, which is really good. Just waiting for the ring, so you know how that is.
No pressure, Michael.
No pressure, but if you're listening...
Yes, certain.
That's
in Arabic, sorry guys.
Do you want to translate? Can you translate?
I don't know how to translate that.
Right, sorry about
it's
that.
Just
learn Arabic.
Yeah, sorry.
So dating for 4.5 years now. Why that affected my curl journey is because I wasn't ready for my partner or someone who was really close to me, for their perception of me to change, because like we were saying before, your curls, they do affect your personality, and they become a big part of who you are. Yeah. And not only that, but they also take up a lot of time. So it is it's not a sacrifice per se, but it's a change. It is a big change. So I was kind of nervous to take those steps. I knew Michael really liked my straight hair as well, because at the beginning of your curl journey, you can't even call it curls for a lot of people, me being one of them. Curling wand was a very good friend of mine. But yeah, so it took me a while to build up the confidence to actually just start doing it. And now that I do it, now that I take care of my curls, Michael loves me all the more for it, and he's really encouraging me and inspiring me to keep going. So kudos to you.
Yeah, they're the cutest. I've been shipping them from day one.
Oh, stop.
They're actually the best.
Oh, stop it. I'm blushing.
Stop blushing. Stop. We're on air.
Oh, okay. Serious.
No, but seriously, they're a really blessed couple. And I'm glad to know them. So
your curl journey and dating life.
My curl journey and dating. What dating life? Nah, for real. I'm single, and I have been for ever. I haven't been in a relationship, so oh well. But I'm trying to get into the dating game. It's a bit hard, but it's not a priority at the moment. So I'm just chilling, enjoying my best single life. But I guess my curls have affected this journey in a while, in a way, in that it's affected myself, my personality, and how I perceive myself and my confidence. So I think we were saying before, on another episode, that when you have straight hair, you feel different.
Yeah.
So when I had straight hair, or I wore straight hair, I felt very confident, but also for a little bit, and then it would turn into an insecurity. And I used to do it because I thought that would make me pretty. And just because that was the standard set in our community. Danger zone. Yeah, it was set in our community like that. So I felt in order to belong, in order to be like the other girls, I had to straighten my hair. And then when I started embracing my curls, I slowly began to realize that I started it was on my path of self-love. So it was really good. It definitely helped me with self-love. It wasn't the only factor, but it did help. And I found myself becoming more sure of who I am, and I could present myself to other people, not just potential guys, guy partners, but just anyone.
Yeah.
I could just be myself and own it. And yeah, like I've had interesting experiences, like just like flirtations with guys because of it. But it's like it's kind of nice.
Sliding
I think.
into the DMs.
Nah.
Them sliding into your DMs.
No.
Okay,
No, it's just like
meeting
in
up at
person.
church youth meeting.
No, not even.
Oh man, this is like guessing game.
No, it's not a guessing game. But I mean, just like in person, like approaches.
Yeah.
Come, like, you know, I accidentally went on a date without knowing that I was on a date recently. Yeah, like that was fun. But
Yeah.
I mean, like all of that just centers around the fact that I, like when I met these people, I was very myself and I knew who I was.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
yeah.
Yeah.
That was a really long-winded way of saying I'm single.
So, boys, if you're listening, here up.
No,
No, don't. She's happy in her single life.
I am. I actually
Okay.
am very, very, very happy.
Good. Very good. Okay, so
today we're going to discuss if your curl journey can impact your relationships, basically, and future relationships too. And it's weird because it's something like you wouldn't think your hair could affect your romantic relationships, but it can. So we're going to talk about 3 main points, and the first being your hair affects your perception of self.
yeah.
So what do you think of that?
I definitely agree. Like we said before, when you change your look, it does affect how you view yourself as well. So I think that when you start leaving your hair natural and really taking care of it, you start to develop a lot of, I don't want to say independence, but it's something that you're doing for yourself, to take care of yourself, and that in it can lead to you really starting to appreciate, you know, who you are. So I think when it comes to your curls and your perception of self, it's really important to just remember that every step that you take into your whole like self-care journey, if that's what you're going to call it, is basically going to lead to you loving yourself more and, you know, making sure that you put yourself in a position where you build a confidence that's independent of other people.
Yeah.
So embracing your natural hair is not always the easiest thing, and it's not always, you know, the most acceptable thing. So it really just shows that you're willing to stand up for yourself, willing to embrace who you are, and you're not afraid of letting the whole world know, because I mean, curls are no quiet statement to make, that you are happy with who you are. So I think wearing your hair naturally is definitely an important step to self-acceptance.
Yeah, 100%. She framed it perfectly. I think I'll just add that, like, for me, I definitely had a poor perception of self before I started embracing my hair. Like, I think just in general, like when I started embracing my hair, I started embracing a lot of things, wasn't just hair, but I think, yeah, a part of embracing how you were created, like physically, does affect you, because not just with like potential partners, but like with your friends too.
Yeah.
Just because you're not as insecure, like you're very much like, I am who I am, and that's okay, and I love it. And I think when you don't have that, you rely on others for that validation. I just don't think it's healthy to like get into a relationship. Like, I thank God I didn't get into a relationship during that phase, because like I just feel like I would have been relying on my partner's validation for so long. Yeah. And that's not fair to put on a partner, like at all. You should have that validation from yourself.
Yeah, actually that is a very good point. That's something that I tend to talk about a lot with other people as well. And it's all about, you have to love yourself before someone can love you completely. And I'm not saying that they can't love you if you don't love yourself. Like, of course not. Yeah. But it does put that extra pressure and strain on the other person as well to constantly uplift you, make you happy, put you first. Like, of course, they're more than happy to do that, and they will do that for you. But it makes life so much easier and happier when both parties are already happy and confident, independent of one another. Because if you meet a sad force with a happy force, it's not going to be easy to make both happy. Like, you might end up dimming one, or, you know, like, there might be some turmoil. But if you meet a happy force with another happy force, well, generally it's going to be happy.
Yeah. And, like, I think it's important to mention that it's not to say that, like, you're going to be 100% happy when you meet your partner.
Yeah.
But I think if you're on that path, it's important.
Yeah.
Because I think you'll just continue down that path and you'll grow with them. Whereas, like, if, say, you have no intention of becoming happy and then you meet this person, you can't expect them to help you grow when you're not on the same path as them.
Yeah. Like, when I started my relationship with Michael, we spoke a lot beforehand about not where we see ourselves in 5 years, but what we were working on so that in the future we would be better versions of ourselves. And even to this day, it's a very frequent topic that comes up, like what we can do to be better for ourselves that would also be better for the other person. And I did enter the relationship not 100% the best version of myself. Like, it took a long time for me to finally start building that confidence and that happiness with him, and then also independently of him. But it did put a lot of strain on him at the beginning as well. And like he's a blessed man. Thank God for him, because I don't think anyone would be able to have dealt with me and how I was at first. But thankfully, like, we both got through it, and, you know, we're still working hard to both make sure that the other person does a lot more for themselves as well. So yeah.
I think this leads into the next point, which is loving yourself makes room for loving others. And I definitely see that in myself. Like, I'm pretty sure, like, I was very occupied with all my flaws and what I didn't like about myself a couple of years back. And it consumed my mind because I couldn't bring myself to accept myself. And I felt like no one will ever take me on, like, no one could ever like me or whatever. And oh my God, I'm getting emotional. I don't want to get emotional. But
deep breaths.
No, like, it's just an important topic for me, but I want to share. And I don't know, I just felt like there's no one out there for me. And, like, all these thoughts really, like, ate at me, but it also made me very pessimistic and not there for my friends. Like, I'm pretty sure, like, you know, like, our friendships have had some strains, and I've had strains with other friends just because I'm just preoccupied in my own world. And my therapy, which is still my therapy with, like, hard times, is just to work hard at my life, and that it's good, but it's also not good. So it's just, I couldn't love the people around me, and still I have my bad days when it's hard to love people around me because I don't feel good about myself. But I think now that I'm on, like, I definitely have a lot more self-love for myself than I did last year, even the year before, like, and I can see that just I'm having more meaningful friendships with people because I have more time. I'm not consumed. Like, I accept myself and I don't think about it. It's not a constant on my mind. And I have hope for the future that, you know, I'm going to meet a great guy. Like, so I'm not hopeless anymore. And, like, all that just made me have more capacity to love people, because I just don't, it doesn't cross my mind anymore. Well, sorry, that was really long.
No, that's okay. I definitely agree with the whole, when you start seeing the negatives in your life, you tend to start distracting yourself, and those distractions do take away from your relationships with other people in a meaningful way. I mean, you can still have relationships, but you're constantly in your own head, and that can really affect your perception of yourself, your perception of your relationships, and then your perception of the world. Oh my gosh, I got transported back to year 11 English.
Oh my God, that sounded like the syllabus all over again.
Yeah, but it's true though. So it's really important to make sure that you're in a good place if you want to be in a good place with others as well. And you know, like it is a struggle. It is hard to be there. You will go up and down, fluctuate as well. Like sometimes you will be really good and sometimes you won't. But
Yeah.
it's the journey and the motivation to keep trying to just do your best, you know? Like just never give up and never let your own self-doubt affect your life as well. It's really important.
100%. And I think as Christians, we are lucky to, you know, fall back on God. I think like we're so blessed. Like he loves us no matter what, and I think that feeling is so liberating. And I think that definitely has been like a turning point for me. Just realizing that no matter who I am, no matter what I look like, no matter what happens to me, like God loves me, and just being filled with that love just made me feel complete enough to be there for the people in my life that are struggling with the same things or just struggling with other things. And I think that makes all the difference. So
yeah, that's well put.
Yeah.
Jesus rocks.
Jesus is the best. But the last point that we want to talk about is owning yourself is actually quite attractive. Like if you want to attract the right person, be yourself.
Yeah, it's true. It's hard work to be someone else. If we're going to be completely honest, like sooner or later, you're going to stop. You're going to become comfortable with your partner, and the real you is going to come out anyway. So why not just start with the real you from the beginning?
Yeah.
And that way they know exactly what they're getting themselves into.
Yeah, because you might be full of baggage. No, I'm joking.
We're not joking.
Yeah.
Let it all out, sweetie.
But yeah, I think owning it isn't just owning the good parts of yourself. It's just owning the things that make you insecure too. Like I have to own my volume and frizz. Like, you know, my future boo has to deal with the fact that in selfies I probably will eat up the space in the selfie because my hair overtakes his face. Like just things like that. Like, you know, like
that's a fair point. Yeah.
But yeah, no, for real. Like, yeah, it's really hard to be someone else, and it's really miserable. And you could attract the wrong person, not a bad person, just the wrong person, and that could be really damaging for you.
Yeah.
And I was like, on a good note, like if you are yourself and you own who you are, you're gonna attract someone who's on the same page. And like, I don't know about you, but like I want someone that's on the same page as me, and
yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
I definitely think that confidence is key.
Yeah.
In any aspect of life, it's really important to be confident, even if you're quiet, even if you're, you know, more reserved, or even just, I don't know, like if you're generally a shy person, but I mean shy in the sense that you're not outgoing. Like being confident isn't about being outgoing and out there.
Yeah.
It's just about owning who you are, you know? Like Michael's really good at this. Like he's very quiet. Like he won't generally speak unless spoken to, but once you speak to him, he is quite confident. Like
that is true. Yeah. He's very sure of himself. Like when you speak to him. Yeah.
Yeah. And I find that quite attractive.
Yeah.
Like it's attractive when someone knows who they are and they're happy with who they are.
And they're unapologetic.
Yeah.
Like it's like, this is who I am.
Yeah. But as long as it's like not, you don't have bad traits. You know. Yeah. I don't mean like you're allowed to have
flaws, but I think toxic. I think you're going for like the toxic traits.
Yeah. Don't be proud of who you are if who you are is a douche.
Yeah. But I think for me, for example, like I like know my flaws, and the way that I own them is like I am admitting that I'm working on them.
Yeah.
Like
that's right.
Like it's not a great thing, but like if you're on a path to work on it, then that's good.
Yeah.
You know?
That's true. So yeah, so I think a really important thing is just, if you're going to start wearing your hair naturally and you're going to go down that path, own it. Like,
own it.
Really, if people start asking you questions, don't just be like, oh, you know, it's just something I'm doing, you know, don't worry about it. Speak about it. Talk about it. Talk about your, you know, what you've done right, what you've done wrong. Don't be afraid to talk about something you're passionate about, because if you're going down this natural hair journey, sure, you might not be ready to start a podcast like we are, but, you know, it's something that you're actively doing for yourself. And just like any other hobby or something that someone else does, like you don't ever want them to hide who they are or what they're doing to please other people. So own your hair journey and don't be afraid to talk about it.
Yeah. And I've realized in general that ever since I've started to own my hair, like I did start owning my hair naturally, as in like I had it in braids like about 2 years ago, but ever since, like I put down the hair straightener and started like doing more for my hair in general, I realized people just like not just guys, but just people in general gravitated towards me. And like when I would ask why, they're like, because you're just a very stable, like confident person. And I'm like, me confident? Like you don't know, like as in like you don't know what I've been through, right? Like as in like
you don't know my story.
You don't know my story. But I mean, like for me it was like weird because like I've been insecure for like honestly my insecurity started right after high school. I was very sure of myself in high school, and then right after high school for the first 3 years I was very unsure of myself. And I think for me it's just like, but I'm so like insecure. But I think by people telling me that, I realized like, like being myself and just like, you know, not like owning it, or not owning it,
not owning it.
I mean like owning it just makes people want to be around you.
Yeah.
And it rubs off on others. Like I know friends that like, you know, definitely had like a weaker perception of self, that you know, you would give them words of affirmation over the years, over and over again, and like nothing would ever make them realize their true value and what they mean to you in your life. But then just by being yourself, sure of yourself, they see that and then they start to become sure of themselves. And now they're more sure of themselves than I am sure of myself. But I mean, it's just a beautiful
job well done.
No, but like I'm not saying I'm the reason, but I'm just saying it's
no, you're part of it.
It's a chain reaction.
Yeah.
And you know, if we could all do it for each other, like how amazing would that be?
Be the reason that your friends can be confident as well.
And then you'll learn from them.
Yeah,
and you'll learn from them. Like I'm learning now from these friends, and they're amazing. And it's good, you know.
Yeah, I do know.
Yeah. Okay. Brings us to the end of episode 6, and we're gonna have a podcast break.
Yes.
Before we come back for episode 7.
A break cast.
But also it will be like a season because we're gonna up our game.
Yeah.
For the next set of episodes.
That's true. So think of this not like a TV show season where we leave you on a cliffhanger and you're hanging. No, this is just us taking some time to like make everything amazing. 10 times better.
Yeah. Exactly.
So yeah, we'll be back soon.
Yeah,
don't miss us too much.
Oh,
sisters. Anyway, so follow us on Instagram.
We'll still be on the socials, so please like reach out. Like, we're not taking a break from our socials, just uploading.
Just uploading. Yeah. So follow us on Instagram. Follow us on YouTube. Follow us on Spotify. Follow us on SoundCloud. Follow us on Twitter, even though we don't use it.
And Apple Podcasts.
Now we have Apple Podcasts. Yeah.
Which you guys made happen because of your requests. So
thank you very much for that. So stay tuned. We will see you guys
in a month.
In a month. Wait, in a month?
Yeah, in a month. Because fortnight is usually our episode.
Right, so we're taking a month. See you guys in a month.
Love yas.
Bye.